Okay, I've been taking a look at my neck. Here's what I've done. I've looked at a bunch of pictures of some Relic Stratocasters, some old Stratocasters, actual vintage ones and whatnot, and seen this area in the back where the lacquer wears away from lots of playing. I'm trying to replicate that as much as I can. So what I've done is I've put some tape in a location and pattern based on the things that I've seen. And as again, I'm trying to replicate something that might have come out of the custom shop, and this is how they tend to look as far as location and whatnot. So what I've done is I've marked off the areas in between the tape where I'm going to try to remove the sanding sealer that came on the neck when I bought it, and so I can get to bare wood so that I can stain it. So that I can stain it a little bit darker color. And then what I'm going to have to do is, once that's done, is I'm going to have to reapply the tape, but on the negative side of it, right? To then go ahead and spray my my aged clear lacquer, so I can start to get that piece going on there. But so what I've got it taped off. I've got a little bit of my 600 sandpaper here. I got the other finer grits too, but I think they might be too fine for this task. So I've got a small piece of 600. I'm going to lightly start sanding here to see what I can do to remove that sanding sealer. And all right, we'll see what happens. I am starting to see a fine bit of white dust, which would indicate to me that that's that sealer coming up there. And I've got a little bit of it on the paper here, and a little bit of a build up here, a little bit of paper loading. So all right, it's coming off. Now the trick is for me is just going to be to try and get it as smooth as I can without getting exposing the wood without getting too much into it though, because I don't want to change measurably the shape of the neck or anything. I'm intentionally sanding from over the top of the paper here too, so that it kind of will follow the rough edge of the paper that I've torn, and not obviously sand underneath the tape, but right there at the edge where it goes from the tape onto the neck itself. And it's not supposed to be perfect. It's not a perfect line, because even normal wear wouldn't be a perfect line. So I don't know if this way is going to work or not, but it's part of what I'm trying out. This isn't so much of a how-to video series as much as it is a hey, see what I do and let's see if it works. Still very smooth, as you would expect, even if since I'm using 600 here. So even if I've gotten through the sealer and I'm in bare wood, I'm still quite smooth. All right, that's it. I think I'm going to clean off this sawdust and get ready for the next step. Okay, so what I've decided is I'm going to go ahead and try and apply some of my stain to the back here. As I said, I got it taped off, got it sanded down to bare wood, what I believe is all the way down to bare wood in all spots, and I guess we're going to see here shortly. I've got some stain that I've mixed up a while ago when I was doing some testing. It's a mix of Stumac brown and amber in an alcohol solution, not water. And then what I plan to do later on is then apply this tried and true original wood finish that I also got. It doesn't take much. I also got from Stumac. It doesn't take very much to put it on there. But this is what I'm going to use to then seal this in the back when I get to that stage. But right now, we're going to go ahead and try this stain out and see how it goes. So this is a color I think that, that I'm looking for based on my testing, and I guess we're about to see. We'll do this together.
Does look rather light here at first.
And I'm going over the tape down as well, once again, to try and if I don't want to go up over the top of it and tear off the tape that I've put on there. So right now it's darkening up a little bit.
I think that might be getting in the neighborhood of what I'm looking for.
I'll apply some more here, continue to darken it up.
I'm liking it. I'm going to continue a little bit more here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I mix the stain drops into the alcohol, I mixed it pretty weak, to be honest. Not necessarily intentionally, but I did mix it pretty weak to start with, which I'm glad, because now if I want it darker, I have to add more coats. Because you can always add more, you can't really take away. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a while and let it maybe even dry fully, and we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay. Okay, the next step I'm going to do to get my neck finished up is probably going to be a little bit controversial. I'm going to apply some decals to the headstock here. Now, this is a Music-Craft licensed neck, branded right on the back, licensed by Fender. It's not Fender. I don't intend on selling this for anybody. In fact, I'm making a model, a replica, no different than making a a model airplane and putting U.S. Air Force on it. It's not actually from the U.S. Air Force. It's a model airplane. And I don't intend on selling it, so this is a replica model for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two decals on, and once they are on and dry, then I'll go ahead and start taping up the fretboard itself and getting ready to put our lacquer on. So first thing I'm going to do is put this in some warm water here. It looks like it's all ready to come off. All right, so that's on. That went on fairly simply. Surprised. Go ahead and put on the next piece. All right, well, like I said, it went on fairly simply. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit, and here you go. I'm going to let it sit and dry, and then once it's dried, and I've got the back of the stained here area dry, I'll go ahead and tape up the fretboard. I'll spray a quick clear coat of lacquer over the top of the headstock, and then once that sits for a little bit, then I'll start putting the aged clear over the top of that and on the rest of the neck, and we'll be going. The next thing after that though is to spray some additional coats on the body. Although it's rainy and wet outside right now, so the weather's not really with me, so I might have to put that off until a little bit later to get back in there. But then once I've done that, I can start spraying up the body, and this thing will be just about ready to start assembly, which I'm looking forward to. All right, we'll catch you later.